Mid-Cape Highway Historic Overview. The current Route 6 as it stands today appears to nobly serve its desired purpose as we drive our way into the 21st century. As highways go, it's a rather quaint 55-mile-per-hour jaunt lined with trees of the pitch pine variety, hinting to travelers that they are now journeying through a magical realm. For many, this simple stretch of highway represents the beginning of their Cape Cod vacation, and the making of summer memories to last a lifetime. Excerpt from an article in the Barnstable Patriot, 2006. Down the spine of the Cape, in 1947, the Massachusetts Department of Public Works, Mass DPW, announced plans for a Mid-Cape Expressway as part of its statewide expressway program. As originally planned, the expressway relocation for US 6 was to extend nearly 36 miles from the Sagamore Bridge east to Orleans. From Orleans east, and north, to Provincetown, grade separations were to be built at select intersections, though there were no immediate plans to convert this section to freeway. The initial Mass DPW plans called for the construction of a 4-lane median-separated freeway from the Sagamore Bridge east to Barnstable, and a fully access-controlled Super 2 from Barnstable east to the terminus at the Orleans Rotary, where US 6 joins MA 6A and MA 28. East of Barnstable, right-of-way was to be acquired and bridges were to be built early on to facilitate the building of an additional 2-lane carriageway at a later date, bringing total capacity to 4 lanes. A 1953 plan by the Interstate Study Committee, a multi-state body of highway officials, sought to connect this section of US 6 with the Cape Cod Expressway, a proposed 260-mile long turnpike connecting Cape Cod with the New York metropolitan area. It described the expressway plan on Cape Cod as follows: proceeding easterly from the Cape Cod Canal, this highway will connect with the recently completed section of the Mid-Cape Highway between the canal and Route 132 in Barnstable. The further completion of the remaining gap on this highway, Route 6, can be anticipated within the next few years, thereby opening up wide avenues of highway travel to the Cape Cod vacation area from points to the south and west. The section from Barnstable to Dennis is to be placed under contract shortly. Construction of the Mid-Cape Highway progressed as follows. Sagamore Bridge approach in Sandwich to exit 6, MA 132, in Barnstable. This section, which was built as a full 4-lane freeway between 1950 and 1953, is noted for its concrete arch frame and granite overpasses. The freeway originally ended at a Trumpet interchange. US 6 was multiplexed temporarily with MA 132 and MA 28 beyond this point. Mid-Cape Highway. Exit 6 to exit 13, Orleans Rotary/Eastern Terminus. This section originally was built as a Super 2 between 1953 and 1959. A second carriageway was to be built to carry eastbound traffic, and bridges were built in advance, but only east to exit 9, to carry the eastbound lanes. Upon completion of the eastbound lanes, the existing 2-lane section was to revert to westbound use only. The bridges along this section had a more utilitarian steel beam design, in contrast to the concrete arch frame and granite overpasses of the more westerly section. There was also an at-grade railroad crossing just west of exit 8, Union Street, in Yarmouth. Adding more capacity from Hyannis to Dennis, between 1966 and 1971, the Mass DPW upgraded the Mid-Cape Highway from exit 6, MA 132, in Hyannis east to exit 9 in Dennis. Along with the construction of new eastbound lanes, the project featured an upgrade at exit 6, including new bridges and configuration of the interchange as a partial cloverleaf, construction of new breakdown lanes, construction of new bridges over the railroad just west of exit 9, to replace the at-grade crossing, and the opening of a new rest area just west of Dennis. Changes for interchanges. In the early 2000s, the state converted the existing partial cloverleaf interchange at exit 9 into a full cloverleaf at a cost of more than $3 million. As part of this project, the state also created a more gradual transition for the eastbound 2 lanes as the squeeze into 1, and a more gradual widening of the westbound lane into 2 lanes. This eliminated the eastbound two-lane stub just east of exit 9 that resulted from the 1966 to 1971 expansion project. Around this time, the state also proposed construction of a new exit 6A, Mary Dunn Road, that would serve a nearby light industrial park on Independence Drive. Proponents suggest the new exit would ease congestion on nearby roadways, while serving as the linchpin for a proposed relocation of the Cape Cod Hospital campus. However, opponents fear the new interchange would spur the development of more intense industrial and big box retail use. In 2008, the Hyannis Access Study Team organized by the state recommended holding off on construction of the $20 million project until at least 2015, when the team can evaluate more immediate measures designed to reduce congestion in Hyannis. Will the Dennis to Orleans Super 2 ever be widened? In 1969, the Mass DPW began design and environmental studies on upgrading the remaining Super 2 section from Exit 9 East to the Orleans Rotary. These studies were abandoned in 1974 because of environmental and land use concerns. The widening project's potential effect on local drinking water supplies was of particular concern. To improve safety on the Super 2 section, the state reduced the speed limit from 55 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour in 1974. However, this failed to stem the rising accident rate, which was attributed to the increasing traffic on the Middle and Lower Cape. In the late 1980s, the state revisited the proposal to widen the 12.8-mile-long section of the Mid-Cape Highway east of Dennis after a 20-year period in which 36 people were killed in accidents on the Super 2 stretch, mostly in head-on accidents. The state's immediate response was to install a 3-foot-wide berm and 3-foot-high reflectors along the center line, add shoulders, and prohibit all passing along the section. The $7 million improvement project was completed in 1991. In 1994, the now rechristened Massachusetts Highway Department, MHD, unveiled 3 new alternatives, as well as a no-build alternative that simply extended the acceleration-deceleration lanes. Alternative 1, this alternative would provide a full-build, 4-lane freeway from Exit 9 East to Exit 13, Orleans Rotary. Separating the two carriageways would be a variable grass median measuring between 14 feet and 60 feet wide. New bridges to carry the eastbound lanes of US 6 would be built at Depot Street and MA 137 in Harwich, and at MA 6A in Orleans. A new bridge also would be built for the Freeman's Way overpass, and the existing bridge carrying MA 124 would be expanded to accommodate the new eastbound US 6. Existing interchange ramps would be modified, but the Orleans Rotary would not be eliminated. Berms along the left and right shoulders would send stormwater runoff away from water recharge basins. The full-build alternative was estimated to cost $45 million. Alternative 2, same characteristics as Alternative 1, but the improvements would end just east of Exit 12, MA 6A, in Orleans, at which point a transition area to Super 2 would be built. This alternative was estimated to cost $43 million. Alternative 3, same characteristics as Alternative 1, but the improvements would end just east of Exit 11, MA 137, in Harwich, at which point a transition area to Super 2 would be built. This alternative was estimated to cost $26 million. All of the alternatives would include the construction of a new diamond interchange for Exit 11A, Freeman's Way, in Brewster, where there currently are 2 emergency ramps. The widening proposal has not advanced beyond the design stages. However, the MHD built 2 new bridges in the early 2000s to carry the Cape Cod Rail Trail over US 6 in Harwich and Orleans, with accommodation for a future second carriageway. The Mid-Cape Highway today, according to the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, MassDOT, the expressway carries approximately 55,000 vehicles per day, AADT, a figure that can double easily in the summer months. From the Cape Cod Canal east to Exit 9, MA 134, the 4-lane Mid-Cape Highway has a 55 miles per hour speed limit, the speed limit was 60 miles per hour for a brief period from 1971 to 1973. The highway has a 50 miles per hour speed limit in the Super 2 section east of exit 9.